Yeah, so I wanted to welcome everyone. Thanks for that introduction, Tierney. My name is Kurt. I'm the director of the program for International Energy Technologies, and Josh and I started this little effort years ago. It started out as just a couple modules in a course, getting students involved in energy projects on campus, and it grew and it grew. And we'll talk a little bit more about what this sustainable campus, sustainable cities effort looks like. Josh?
Yeah, thanks, Kurt. Yeah, this is we're really excited to have everyone here today. Has turned into something that's a lot bigger than we ever even really intended, but it's exciting to see all the interest and we're excited about the content today. So we'll jump right into it. I oversee the utilities and engineering team in facilities management at UC Davis, and I'm on the operations side of the campus, and it's been a great partnership with Kurt and the academic side of campus, and that's kind of what sparked this whole workshop to begin with. So some logistics just to run through real quick. You do have the Q&A box there in your Zoom, so that's where you should be putting your questions for us, and we'll be getting to those throughout the whole day. So just throw questions in there whenever you have them. We do let you guys chat with each other, so the chat is there, and feel free to use it. But if you put any questions in there, we'll redirect you to the Q&A so we can keep track of those. There's some notes up here. There's a survey at the end. We do appreciate your feedback. Keep making this better. And then Sherry, who's our organizer, is her contact info is there. You can reach out to her if needed.
And stick around for the survey because there's also a raffle at the same time.
Very important. All right, Kurt.
Yeah, so a little bit about this. We call this overall effort, Sustainable Campus, Sustainable Cities. At UC Davis, like I said, it started with a kernel of Josh and I just trying to put energy projects, real energy projects in front of students. And so it's got four pieces to it. We say progress, research, education, and impact. Progress is really what's happening on UC Davis's campus. Like we're committed to get down to have a carbon-free campus and be net zero energy. That's our goal. We're moving pretty quickly there. I think quicker than most campuses, and in a fairly organized fashion. And there's a bunch of pieces that are making that quick move possible. The research part of it is using UC Davis as a living lab. You know, we have we look a little bit like a city. We're like 60,000 inhabitants on the campus. We have our own wastewater treatment plant. We have our own cooling plant, heating plant. So we look like either a big city or a big campus. And so what we like to do is, if we do individual projects, can we spin them out and get this research out there for other people to learn from? So that's the research part of it, and our students and faculty are engaged. And fortunately, we have an energy graduate group. So we have, between 12 and 20 students per year that are just studying energy. And so this gives these students an opportunity to work for real projects on campus. And some of them work from anywhere from 1 to 5 years. They do their master's thesis or their PhD dissertation on these things. And they're getting real experience. And as you'll see later, this experience leads them to easily get great jobs out there and actually be the movers and shakers that are kind of like shaping our energy future, I guess. And then the impact is being able to push this out and share this with other institutions and learn from other institutions. So we call these global sustainable campus partnerships. And kind of the center of that is this Global Energy Managers Workshop, where we get people all together to share ideas, talk about, meet each other. It started as an in-person thing, and then it just grew. So that's kind of that's a little bit to let you know about this whole effort and how it looks.
Yeah, so we'll jump into some of the highlights from those different topics that Kurt just talked about. In terms of progress, like you said, this really starts with real projects on campus that we're doing and that you all are doing on your campuses, right? And so trying to turn those into learning opportunities and research opportunities. We often get students involved in these projects. And so some examples, we have a big project going on, our big shift. You'll probably hear more about that today as well, moving from steam to hot water and heat recovery on our heating system as part of our decarbonization plan for the campus. We have some energy dashboards and energy engagement that you can feel free to check out. Our energy adventure, teaching people in the campus or in the community, really anywhere, about what's going on campus in terms of energy and how we use energy. And then we also are able to fund a team that is just getting energy savings on campus, and they're funded out of the savings that they get. And so these are the kind of things that spark this idea of wanting to go and share with other campuses and get other people engaged in similar efforts. So just some highlights there. In terms of the research side of it, we use the Energy Graduate Group and other academics on campus get involved in these projects, and we often are turning projects into research opportunities and then turning research into projects. And so some examples of that is our one of our energy graduate group students, Devin, worked with some chemical engineering faculty and students on a chill water optimization with our plant. Published a paper. She got a job in that field and is now working for us in the demand response industry as a consultant. And then our thermal feedback system with Jules the cow there on the right has been a big research opportunity that actually improves our thermal feedback system for the campus, basically crowdsourcing comfort from the campus. And that's been a source of a number of different research opportunities and published papers. So just some highlights there. Hand it off to Kurt for the classes.
Yeah, and like I said, we're fortunate enough to have an energy graduate group. When I came to Davis, I wanted to study energy, and there was no graduate group, so I was in engineering and transportation. And now we have this steady flow, this pipeline of energy graduate students who come in. And I guess the cornerstone of this effort is this course, which was Josh and I co-created, called Path to Zero Net Energy, where we take campus projects and some also from the community. We spend a little time with the clients, making sure that we understand this project's going to be appropriate. We recruit usually between 25 and 40 students to take the class, and then they'll work on anywhere from 28 projects, three student groups. So we could have 10 projects or 11 or 12 projects that they little groups of 3 work on. We recruit across campus, so we have energy graduate students, but we also have business students. We have students from engineering and even liberal arts and designers, and they all work together. It's a very sort of hands-on class. So we have a bunch of labs where students tour the central plant. They learn how to use a bunch of auditing tools, very hands-on, and then they end up delivering a high-quality report, kind of acting as consultants for the clients. And then after the class, we work to shepherd these projects through and see if these projects have legs, if they're going to grow, if they're going to continue. So, and a lot of those research efforts that Josh showed you, including the big shift, which is like more than $160 million project, a lot of that work was done in our class by our students. So it's a pretty successful approach. And I know that some other campuses are doing it, and they would probably also understand about this sort of educational opportunity and opportunity to just do progress on the campus. And then I tell students who come here that I don't know, I can't think of a single student that came through here in the energy graduate group and certainly working on this effort that didn't get a job as soon as they left, if they wanted one. Of course, some of them wanted to travel the world, they didn't get a job, but the ones who want a job all got it, and they got jobs in really amazing places. One of our students is working in a position a little bit like where Josh works at Stanford. So looking at their energy, we have students working at Lawrence Berkeley, Sandia. That was one of the students who helped start this effort. And what about some of those other ones you know about, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much find their niche in the energy industry, and so demand response and focused on sustainability or other parts of the energy industry. Just a lot of really good success stories coming out of this because of the hands-on experience they get here. Oh,
and I added something which didn't get on this slide, was that some of them actually still work here.
Yeah.
So some of our best, our team that's here is we have staff, but we also have a ton of students working here. So we might have 20, 30 students a year working in energy on campus, but and some of those end up applying and getting jobs here on campus. So some of the team is actually alum from the Zero Net Energy class.
All right, so just to kind of wrap up that circle of progress, research, teaching, and the last one was impact, and that's where we are trying to share what we're doing and engage other campuses, other companies, and this workshop has really been a great way to do that. It started, like Kurt said, back in 2019. We had a small in-person workshop, mostly our other UC campuses and other folks from California. Of course, in 2020, we had to move online, and that actually expanded it because the reach was a lot bigger. So we did that for the last few years. Got a lot more people coming, up to 300 attendees. Last year, we saw big numbers in terms of, the campuses, government folks coming in, different states, countries. And then we started this last spring, the in-person workshop, doing a smaller kind of follow-on workshop, which we're planning to do as well in this next spring. So kind of building off of what we do today, we'll take some of those topics that we want to dig into more and invite folks to our campus in the spring and do tours and some in-person workshops as well. So stay tuned for that. In terms of today, I just found out we have over 300 registered now. That's up like 80 or 90 from last Friday. So got a lot of people to join just recently. And so some of these numbers are going to be much higher, but a lot of folks from universities, a lot from the campus facilities. That makes sense. Started off as a campus energy manager workshop, but we get a lot from the government, private industry. We've got hopefully probably more than 10 students by now, but really excited to have them engaged and sharing some of what they're doing here with us. And all over the world, as you can see. This is some of the word cloud of some of the titles that we got from the folks who registered. You can see a lot of energy managers, engineers, but really a big, wide swath of folks, including faculty on different campuses. So we're really excited to get this kicked off today. I'll let Kurt run it through the agenda real quick.
Yep. And so you guys know that usually we have a theme for these workshops, and this is the reality of electrification implementation today. And so obviously we welcomed you here. Keynote is going to talk about lessons learned from the road to carbon, and that's Laura Angwe, and she's works for SMUD as the Chief Zero Carbon Officer. We're super excited to have her speak. And then we have these short features, which are just little 5-minute segments from people we think that can help us transition, and also that we can learn something. I'm very happy to have Mina and she's actually used to teach the Zero Net Energy class, and she's a egg student, and she's going to talk about tips for incorporating equity in electrification projects. Session 1 will be electrification drivers supporting goals, legislation and policies. And Ali, actually a PhD student here in EG, will moderate that. We'll have, and then we're going to move to have another short feature, the evolution of grid emissions data, and that's going to be Greg Miller, who I think is also an is an EG alum. Session 2, electrification execution and user realities and lessons learned, moderated by Maria Conwall, another EG. She's actually a PhD student. She's actually I'm her major professor, so super happy that she's in there. And then we'll have speakers from Bonnie Nixon, Andre Nelson, and Aman Hehar, and that will be. And then we'll have lunch with music. People love this thing. It's a live band that's going to play for you virtually, if that makes sense. People like that. Okay, is this where we're at? Okay, yeah. We'll have a short feature, informed energy product procurement. Teresa Pistocini, and she works here at the Western Cooling Efficiency Center. Then session 3 will be electrification execution, vendor consultant perspective. We're super happy to have actually, so the people who are implementing it, we talk about some of the either barriers or successes in this, and then you're going to hear from some vendors. Jeffrey Clary is going to talk about that. And then we'll have some speakers there. Colin Moyer, Casey, it's Box Leitner, I think, and Miles Hayes. And then you'll get to see Josh and my face for a few more minutes there. We'll do closing remarks and we'll do a raffle. So stick around, feel free to come and go as you wish and sit in on the sessions you want, stay as long as you want, and use the chat and the Q&A. Anything I missed?
I don't think so. I think are we handing it off to you, Tierney, for the keynote?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Tierney. Welcome, everybody.